But on stretch today due to injury and suspension, no less than 6 changes from the side that started against Hearts on Wednesday. Ryan Essen takes over in goal from Jamie Langfield. Russell Anderson, Xander Diamond, Scott Severin, Jamie Smith and Steve Lovell are all missing, which means starts for Andrew Considine, Danny Griffin, Gary Dempsey, Colin McCauley and Darren Mackey. Celtic make 5 changes from the side that beat Kilmarnock in midweek. Paul Telfer and Mo Camara replace Mark Wilson and Ross Wallace in defence. There's a first start for Paul Lawson against his hometown team, but there's no Roy Keane in midfield, no Neil Lennon and no Stilian Petrov. John Hartson and Sean Maloney provide the attacking options. Magic Juravsky is rested. And this will be the last match that Kevin McNaughton plays in an Aberdeen jersey. His contract is up, he will be leaving under a Bosman, but he hopes to finish with a flourish. Our referee today is Callum Murray. Game underway, both sides with significant changes in the lineup. For a match that is just about meaningless, Celtic, well, they've completed their task, having wrapped up the SPL title. Aberdeen have had a great time since Christmas. They've only lost 3 matches. The chance of a European place, which was so distant pre-Christmas, has now gone too. But they're ambitious enough to want to take 4th place. They have to win this match and rely on a result in favour of Kilmarnock against Hibs this afternoon to achieve that. Celtic, of course, although their competitive season's finished, but here's an opportunity now. Sean Maloney looks to create. Ball's blocked. They won't get a second chance here. Maloney once again takes possession. Slips the ball back to Pearson. And now wide with Telfer. Pearson once more. Alan Thompson, who hasn't featured too much this season, sweeps it out to Mo Camara. He's dispossessed and Aberdeen should work this one away. It's Darren Mackey of all people back heavily out in defence. It's it forward towards Crawford. It's cut out by Pearson. Camara plays it forward. Celtic content to keep possession and switching from the far side to the near. Telfer, McGeady. Celtic's competitive season, as I was saying, comes to an end this afternoon, but they've got benefits and testimonials at Old Trafford and St James's Park against Manchester United and Newcastle United coming up this week, before they will eventually get a break. Two Aberdonians on the Celtic side. There's a start for Paul Lawson today. This is Hartson. Holding off the challenge of McNaughton. Thompson. Is up. It's a free kick to Aberdeen. It's one for Mackey to chase. It's not a race he's going to win though. press. No challenge. Eases his way up to the halfway line. McGeady. Byrne chasing with him. It's Byrne who emerges with the ball. Back to Danny Griffin. And away by Essen. Puts it wide. Mackey guilty of holding back. Camera up. Free kick to Celtic. Thompson prepares to take the free kick. Griffin with power into the middle. It's headed clear. McGeady with a shot. It's blocked. Tries it a second time off the bar. Hudson with a header. Celtic have the lead. Less than 5 minutes on the clock. And the visitors have the advantage. McGeady with a shot initially blocked, then right-footed, rifled it off the bar, and it was a simple task for John Hartson to head his 20th goal of the season. McGeady with the lead-out work, and Hartson left with a simple finish. Aberdeen have it all to do now. Try. The flag is up though. Richie Byrne was trying to get himself in position, but he had moved offside. Lawson knocks it back. Telfer. Lawson to Maloney, hits it inside. McNaughton's there for Aberdeen. Nicholson. Foster gets the throw. To Dempsey. Touched inside for McNaughton. Challenge was good. Maloney. Thompson looking up to see what options are open to him. Celtic are the only side that Aberdeen haven't managed to take at least 1 point off in the SPL this season. And they haven't got off to the best of starts in attempting to correct that this afternoon. Foster. Barry Nicholson. Back out from Dempsey to Foster again, but there's no way forward for him. Griffin looking for Mackey, but the flag is up. Thompson. Dempsey Dempsey's there. Much changed Aberdeen defence this afternoon. No Anderson, no Diamond, who have been stalwarts this season. No Scott Severin, who's played a defensive role in the last couple of games either. Telfer's got some space. He's got plenty of support arriving in the penalty box as well. It takes a deflection. Knocked away by Griffin. It falls for Dempsey. Byrne. And his legs were taken by Lawson. Just caught as he tried to go by the midfielder. Dempsey to Crawford. Knocked inside towards Mackey. Aberdeen looking for the free kick. They're going to get it. McNaughton closed down quickly by Maloney. Sean Maloney. Good positive challenge though. This is Crawford. Mackey's the only Aberdeen player in the box at the moment. Kyle McCauley now moves in. Kamara gets it away and out of play. Jimmy Calderwood, given the accolade of Manager of the Month for April. He's enjoyed a good second half of the season with the Dons, but he knows he's got a lot of building to do during the close season if his side are going to challenge at all for honours next term. Vargas header. Lawson couldn't find McGeady. Considine knocks it back. Thompson putting McManus under a little bit of pressure, but he coped. Lawson to Hartson. Now McGeady, challenged and beaten by McCauley. Nicholson and Turnlow loses out. This is Aidan McGeady again. Hartson, there's no one wide on the far side, but Telfer making himself available here on the near side. First time cross into the centre. Cut out, but only as far as Maloney. Jockeying for position, good play by Sean Maloney, tries to curl it in, it's knocked away from the 6-yard line. It comes to Lawson. And now Dempsey. Aberdeen survived the Celtic pressure. Griffin inside for Dempsey. Exchanges passes with Crawford, who makes the run towards the Celtic box. Mackey. Back to Dempsey again. Now McNaughton. Mackey though loses out. Pearson. Deep touch to McGeady. Pearson making the run. Wasn't spotted by Aidan McGeady. Telfer now gets it forward though to Stephen Pearson. McGeady comes inside Byrne. Hartson. Camera challenged by Griffin. Danny Griffin hasn't made as many starts as he would like this season for Aberdeen since arriving. Thompson's touch to Maloney, gets the return pass, but the flag's up for offside. Not a decision that John Hartson obviously agreed with. Griffin hits it long, looking for Mackey. Celtic's throw. Nicholson and Byrne exchange passes. It's towards Foster, it doesn't reach him. Dempsey tries to step in, Foster has it now. Aberdeen of players in the box, this is Crawford, right across. Macaulay plays it back in and it's taken by David Marshall. Well, that's the most promising move Aberdeen have made so far. Foster. Griffin offering himself wide, but instead it's to Crawford. Now Mackey tries to create the space. Chance for Darren Mackey! Screws it wide of the post. Darren Mackey scored 4 this season. That could have been number 5. He couldn't get the direction right. But Aberdeen certainly have upped the pace and have threatened the Celtic goal on a couple of occasions in the last 5 minutes. Macaulay inside to Dempsey. Up to Griffin. Maloney was lurking. Danny Griffin takes the safe option of getting it back to Essen, and now McNaughton and Griffin again. Flicked on by Crawford, but straight through to David Marshall. A push on John Hartson by Considine. Thompson's free kick. The run by Maloney. McNaughton matching him stride by stride. Maloney slips it back to Telfer. Came off Dempsey. Hartson has it, tries to lay it off, and it's hooked away by Gary Dempsey. Gathered by Lawson. Thompson spins it out to McGeady. This is Aidan McGeady, he's getting too much space. And eventually it's Byrne who steps in to make the challenge. Celtic now press again. Lawson to Kamara. He's got room on that far side. Drives it in low, it's stopped by McNaughton. Now Dempsey to Nicholson. Heaney comes back to make the challenge. Nicholson turns it back to Byrne. Dempsey forward to Mackey. Now Foster. And Aberdeen have the free kick for the challenge by Kamara. Tommy Burns with the big cap looking on as Aberdeen take the free kick. Headed away, it comes out to Nicholson. Pushed wide again. And they're back with Foster. Macaulay. He's got Byrne. Takes over. Takes it past McGeady. Delivers into the box. Nicholson couldn't quite get there. Dempsey will keep this in play. Fired in again. Knocked away by Thompson. Hartson holds off Considine. McGeady. Lawson and now Telfer. Just with a touch back to McManus. McManus ups the pace, plays it long towards Maloney, cut out by Byrne. inside for Nicholson. Trying to play it first time through to Crawford. This is Dempsey now. Wide to Griffin. Forward for Foster, but too far ahead of him. Telfer. Loney. Griffin. It's the return from Dempsey. And no risks taken as that one goes up onto the stand roof. Dempsey's cross into the middle. Mackey went down. Dempsey will try again. Took his eye off the ball there. He loses out. This is Alan Thompson. Plays it first time long towards Maloney. Cut out by Considine. Nicholson. Foster. Griffin's wide. Back to Dempsey. Aberdeen enjoying a good spell at the moment. That wasn't such a clever cross cut out by McManus. Dempsey again, a lot of the play going through Gary Dempsey. Griffin. Chested down by Telfer, knocked away by Varga. Cool in defence by Celtic. This is McGeady. Forward for the chase by Maloney. Byrne is with him and emerges with the ball. Gets it forward to Macaulay. Good play by Kyle Macaulay. He's past Telfer. Knocks it inside, but it was a weak pass and Telfer recovers. Pearson makes the run. The pass instead though to Maloney, back to Aidan McGeady again. Thompson puts it wide. Lawson being given plenty space. Pearson forward to Paul Lawson again. Right across the 6-yard box, but no takers. Griffin keeps it in play. Long forward, looking for Mackey, cut out by McManus. The end of the season is approaching for Gordon Strachan, his first at Celtic Park, and a title already in the bag. Not a bad start. Griffin gets it down to Foster. Dempsey. Crawford. Return to Dempsey again. Tried to slip it through, and the shot from Nicholson was well intended, but it wasn't a great effort. Got completely under the ball. Paddy Nicholson, just 4 goals to his credit this season, and I'm sure that Jimmy Calderwood would have liked to see a higher tally on the score sheet from the former Rangers and Dunfermline midfielder. Griffin. To be fair to Nicholson, he spent a few weeks out through injury this season. Telfer closed down by Macaulay. To McGeady. Cut out by Considine. Away from Varga, but only to Dempsey. Varga gets a second chance. Thompson putting Paul Telfer under a bit of pressure, but again Celtic worked themselves out of what could have been a problem very coolly. Maloney's given it away though to Dempsey. And Griffin's got acres of space down that far side. Foster knocks it back to McNaughton. It's been watched, McNaughton, by quite a number of scouts and managers from down south over the past few weeks. He is leaving. This is his last game for Aberdeen. Crawford, headed away by McManus, picked up by McGeady. Just past the midway point in the first half, Celtic leading by that John Hartson header scored in the 5th minute. McManus. Caught everybody there, but the offside flag up against Sean Maloney. To Crawford. Dempsey. Norton. That one went astray. David Marshall hasn't seen a great deal of first-team action this season. He's been given his chance in a couple of games towards the end. Holding by John Hartson as he helps Richie Byrne to his feet. Flicked on by Foster. Nicholson. Norton. Griffin puts it back to McNaughton. Dempsey closed down quickly by Pearson. Crawford. Dempsey trying to get that one forward to Mackey. It was cut out. Alan Thompson. Good return ball. This is Thompson. Pushed it ahead of Hartson. And too far ahead. He might have been better having a go himself with what he's already proved to be a lethal left foot. Considine. Forward by Byrne. Vargas there for Celtic. Good play by Barry Nicholson. McCauley. Crawford picks up Nicholson again. Sweeps it across. And the header from Foster. But no danger posed for the Celtic defence. Pearson, chipped forward for Maloney. McNaughton's there. Aberdeen get the throw. Griffin's throw goes straight out of play. Telfer back inside to Aidan McGeady. Touch back now for Lawson. Thompson. Pearson. Norton's there for the Dons. And Mackie. Byrne to Crawford. Well, that was a poor pass by Stevie Crawford, intended for Kyle McCauley. To Thompson. Game's dropped to a fairly pedestrian pace now. Just approaching the half-hour mark. Celtic still leading by that Hartson header. McManus towards Pearson. Heads it into the path of Hartson, but Considine's there, kept his cool well. Griffin. No problem for Stephen McManus. Geary's touch didn't come off for him. Crawford to Nicholson. Now Foster. A bit of space again on that far side. Takes on Kumara, and a good challenge by the Celtic defender. Aberdeen take the throw. It's with Dempsey. Couldn't get the cross into the middle. Considine to Byrne. Mackie. Colley takes over. Now Nicholson. Foster. Back to Dempsey. Options are wide. It's with Griffin. Inside now to Nicholson. Back to Danny Griffin. He left that pass short. Griffin gets the cross though into the middle. Up goes Mackie. The ball breaks to the edge of the area. McGeady's there for Celtic. McCauley's with him. And Celtic have the throw. Cross right into the middle. Mackie made the challenge, but couldn't get any real direction or power behind the ball. Dempsey nods it down for Crawford. Picked up now by Byrne. Trying to get it back to Stevie Crawford. Cut out by Telford and now forward for Maloney. Norton's with them. But Maloney gets away. Norton sticking to his task. Coming up makes the run. Cut out good. Backtracking there by Darren Mackie for Aberdeen. McNaughton. Dempsey. Nicholson. Back to Dempsey inside now for McNaughton. Crawford. Cawley wins the free kick. Dempsey takes it short to Nicholson. Chips it into the box. And the header goes wide from Andrew Considine. Decent delivery, and Considine got a touch, but again couldn't get the direction he was looking for. Flicked on by Hartson. Maloney, McGeady's behind him. McGeady takes on McCauley, gets the ball into the middle, cut out by Considine. This is Maloney. Almost taunting Byrne to make the challenge. Back it goes to Telfer. Lawson, Crawford comes back. Lawson makes some room for himself though. Pushes it wide. Cameron. Mackey's with him. Delivers it to the centre. Comes back out. Pearson heads it down. Considine gets it away. Taken down by Varga. Telfer. McGeady's got some space. Byrne in front of him. McGeady gets it in the middle and Hodgson pushes it wide, but the flag was up in any event. It was offside against John Hartson. It wouldn't have counted even if it had hit the back of the net. Nicholson. Foster sets off again down that far side. Ball has gone out of play. Griffin inside for Nicholson. Back to Danny Griffin. Dempsey. McNaughton sweeps it out to Byrne. McCauley. Touch inside for Richie Byrne. Gets the ball into the middle. Good one too. And the ball was going clear, but the challenge by Mackey on David Marshall doesn't meet with the approval of Callum Murray. It's a free kick to Celtic. Here's the cross by Byrne. That was the challenge that Callum Murray didn't like. Not a lot in it. Celtic had got the ball clear in any event, but Mackey penalised. Flicked on by Hartson. Considine to the back for Aberdeen. Lawson stomps that one out of play. Nicholson. Griffin back to McNaughton. Inside for McNaughton. And all the way back to Ryan Essen. McNaughton. A bit of pressure from Maloney, but does well to get out of that position. Forward by Griffin, headed down by McManus. Pearson's there for Celtic. Back to Stephen McManus again. Long ball forward. McNaughton waits and watches. Gives possession away though. It's won back by Griffin. Looking for Mackey. Headed down by McManus and now Pearson. McGeady. Alan Thompson. Maloney. Lawson to Thompson. Smacked back to Stan Varga. McGeady. Maloney. For Pearson. Challenged and beaten by McNaughton. Gets it forward to McCauley. Towards the halfway line, McManus is there. And the ball goes out for a throw to Aberdeen. Looking for Crawford, well anticipated by Paul Telfer, heads it back to Marshall. Watson back to his keeper. Again, the flick on by Hartson, chested on by Maloney, but gathered now by Byrne. Gets away from McGeady. Actually, Byrne looking for some support, finds it in the shape of Kyle McCauley. And eventually the challenge from Paul Telfer puts the ball out of play. Down. Forward towards Mackey. Foster. It's away from Thompson. Dempsey. Out for Griffin. And behind off camera for a corner. Cross goes Barry Nicholson to take the corner kick. Comes Paul Hartson to help out in defence as Nicholson takes the kick, swings it out, headed away, gathered again by Nicholson, inside for McCauley, chested down, tries the shot, but it lacked power and direction. Half a chance for the youngster, but he couldn't get his weight behind the ball and screwed it wide of target. Against John Hartson. Shake of the head from the striker. Norton. Byrne. Cut out by Varga. Nicholson. Crawford. Half a chance here. Stevie Crawford gets a shot and saved by Marshall. Aberdeen aren't finished yet. Mackey pushes it wide to Griffin. First time ball into the middle. And that one just drifts over the bar for a corner. Lands on the top of the net. Some good pressure by Aberdeen. Certainly half a chance for the Dons there, but a good save by Marshall from Stevie Crawford. He'll be pleased with that as Aberdeen take yet another corner. Headed away, Dempsey rises, nods it back into the penalty box. Celtic get it away again, but only as far as Nicholson. But this time they should manage to come forward, and they do, and this is dangerous for Aberdeen. Forward comes McGeady at some pace. He's got some options right and left. Maloney inside towards Pearson. It's McCauley who makes the challenge in the penalty box, and a timely one by Kyle McCauley to deny Pearson the shooting opportunity. And Aberdeen survive. Foster. Way by McManus, picked up by Dempsey. McNaughton was late on Dempsey by Thompson, and I suspect this could be a yellow card for the Celtic midfielder. Well, certainly Callum Murray wants a few words, but I don't think any further action will be taken by the referee. Byrne. Manus wins it in the air again. Crawford knocks it back to Dempsey. Norton. Crawford to McCauley. Very tight on this near side, but Aberdeen do well. Byrne taken down by Lawson. A late challenge by Paul Lawson. And Aberdeen have a free kick. Just over a minute of normal time remaining in this first half. The Dons trailing by 1-0. They've enjoyed a good bit of pressure in the last 5 minutes or so. Gary Dempsey to take the kick. Three-man wall in front of him. As Dempsey delivers right-footed low, and it's a poor one, headed out by Thompson. Got for Foster, fires it in, it comes off John Hartson and spins high and behind for a corner. Wasn't a good free kick, but it was a decent effort by Foster, and Hartson just making sure that it didn't threaten the Celtic goal. Nicholson to take the corner for Aberdeen, knocks it out towards Byrne. Hartson's there again, and Thompson gets it away. Dempsey. Mackie, good dummy, leaves it for Crawford. Chips it across, cut out by Pearson. Celtic get it away, only as far as Dempsey. Checks to see who's around. Now it's with Byrne. Back inside for Dempsey, poor pass though. Well anticipated though by Thompson, forward for Hartson. Forced to play it back to his goalkeeper, but it takes the pressure off as Marshall knocks that downfield. Griffin. We're into time added on. McNaughton. And be headed by Mackie. Misdirected. And there goes the half-time whistle. Celtic lead Aberdeen by 1-0. They scored in less than 5 minutes. McGeady set up the opportunity. When the ball struck the bar, it was Hartson who was on the spot to head a simple goal and put Celtic into the lead. It's been competitive for an end of the season match. At half-time at Pittodrie, it's Aberdeen 0, Celtic 1.
The World Cup, the greatest sporting show on earth. Who's going to shine in Germany this summer? Germany is gearing up to host the cream of world football talent. Watch the world's best in action every week with us. Spotlight Europe on Setanta Sports. Watch the world's best in action every week with us. Spotlight Europe on Setanta Sports.
It's competition time now, and this week we're giving you the chance to keep right up to date with all the in-depth goings-on at Celtic Park. Courtesy of the Celtic View, you could be the lucky recipient of a year's subscription to the club's official magazine. To win, all you have to do is name your man of the match from the final SPL game of the season against Aberdeen at the weekend. Call 0901 633 1888 from the UK or 1513 712 522 if you live in the Republic of Ireland. Or if you prefer to use your mobile phone, then text Celtic TV, leave a space, then add the player's name of your choice, remembering to add your own name to 85010 if you live in the UK. There's no age limit on this week's competition. Lines close at midnight on Friday, and we'll contact the lucky winner by phone next week.
Alex Ferguson calls him the greatest midfielder of his generation. Now, Manchester United and Celtic will honour Roy Keane with a glittering testimonial at Old Trafford. Two of the world's biggest clubs go head-to-head live on Tuesday, May 9th on Setanta Sports 2.
Aberdeen get the second half underway, and John Stewart, who's come on as a replacement, immediately into the action. Free kick conceded by Considine. Challenge. Awesome to Maloney. Corley's there for Aberdeen, just allows that one to drift behind for a goal kick. Crawford, Dempsey, now Macaulay. Dempsey picks out Byrne into his left foot. Out to Kyle Macaulay, just catches it but he can't keep it in. Chested down by Hartson, but it's Aberdeen who have possession, although given away by Dempsey. Stewart inside for Dempsey, forward for Crawford. Varga concedes the corner. Well, John Stewart on for this second half in place of Danny Griffin, and that's a statement of intent, I would suspect, from Jimmy Calderwood. It's a striker for a defender. It's meant that Foster's moved back, though. Here's Nicholson with the corner. Header away by Hartson. Dempsey chases. The ball straight back into the middle. Away again, it comes down for Dempsey. Foster offers himself, good return pass, but perhaps just too much weight in it. And McManus just nudges that one out to camera. One ball forward, cut out by Foster. Good turn by Barry Nicholson, created some space for himself. Not such a good pass, in fact, that's woeful. Dreadful ball across field by Barry Nicholson. McGeady tackled by Nicholson, but he gets the ball back. Lawson was not 100% awake there. By Varga. Watson's header, McNaughton's there. Considine plays it forward. Headed down by Varga. Cut out by Dempsey. Stand is there again for Celtic. Lawson. Back with Varga once more. Now upfield to Hartson, who holds off the challenge of Considine, gets the ball back, plays it through, but that will go all the way to Ryan Essen, another Aberdeen player who may well be making his last appearance for the Dons this afternoon. Stewart to Foster. Dempsey closed down quickly by Pearson. To Ricky Foster. Stewart to Mackey. He's inside. It's the pass away to Stewart. Came off his heel. Pearson. Alan Thompson. Pearson makes the run. It comes off McNaughton. Nicholson's there. Thumps the ball forward. Varga's under it and heads it back to David Marshall. Under pressure from Mackey. Varga knocks it back to David Marshall. Thompson is looking for Hartson. Considine puts McCauley in possession. Telford stops Aberdeen moving forward. Lawson gets the ball back from Thompson. Maloney's made the run. McNaughton chasing. Essen's out of his penalty box. Whips the ball back downfield. McGeady. Lawson. Now Thompson. It's for camera, but Foster's there. Now John Stewart. Mackey. Barry Nicholson. Next Considine chase for it. Telfer intercepts. Play by Paul Telfer. This is Maloney. Now Thompson. McManus. Right inside for Thompson. Hartson, first time ball looking for Maloney. Cut out by McNaughton. Picked up now by Stewart. Alan Thompson's challenge, but it breaks to Crawford. He's got McCauley out wide, but the challenge was good. McGeady now comes forward for Celtic, dispossessed by Richie Byrne. Byrne ups the face, switches it across to Mackey. Dempsey offers the overlap. Mackey instead plays it inside. It's headed away by Varga. And Byrne's challenge, and Pearson will earn him a talking to from Callum Murray. Thompson. That's for Hartson. Good ball to John Hartson, right foot. decent effort. Lovely ball through to John Hartson, but Considine stayed with them and took the sting out of the shot. And Essen gathered. Pearson's header. McNaughton picks up for Aberdeen. Stewart goes on the outside. Good challenge by Mokamara. And he concedes the corner. Well, the Celtic defender does not agree with the assistant referee. But he's not going to change his mind. And he's armed himself a talking to for disputing the decision. Callum Murray making it quite clear there's only one man in this pitch that makes decisions. And Aberdeen have the corner. Nicholson. Good delivery. Hartson got his head to it, and that's pushed behind it. The last touch was certainly off John Hartson, so the corner had been conceded in any event. David Marshall just making sure that it didn't sneak in at the top corner. And Aberdeen have a second successive corner, same position. Delivered by Nicholson, headed away this time by Hartson. Falls to McCauley, tries the shot, it's blocked. Celtic get the ball clear. Thompson waits for it to drop. McCauley challenges, in steps Dempsey. Dispossessed by Pearson, but Aberdeen have it back. Considine pushes that one for the run from Mackey. He's got space. He's also got support in the penalty box. Tried to get it inside to Dempsey. Cut out by Lawson, but given away. Nicholson. Foster. Inside for McNaughton. McCauley just manages to keep that one in play. Crawford does well to take possession. Back to McCauley. Gets the return ball and wins the free kick. Paul Lawson making his first start for Celtic in his hometown of Aberdeen. It's the brother-in-law of Russell Anderson. He's never played against him, and because of Anderson's injury, he doesn't get that opportunity this afternoon. Aberdeen trail by a goal to nil. This is Barry Nicholson to take the free kick. Takes it short for Dempsey, caught him out too, gets the shot in. It comes off Byrne, Nicholson chases, Varga gets there first, and a goal kick's awarded. With the shot, it cannoned off Richie Byrne. And the ball behind off Nicholson for a goal kick to Celtic. Flicked on by Hartson. Considine just nudges it back to his keeper. Essen gets a ball moving down the other end of the pitch quickly. This is Byrne. Nicholson. Mackey. Foster's made a run. Darren Mackey knocks it inside for Dempsey. Then makes the run himself, but it's played back to Nicholson. Now forward for Foster. Again tries to use his pace. And the challenge gives Aberdeen the throw. Dempsey, first time into the middle. Mackey lays it back. Crawford with a shot. Blocked. And the ball spins behind for a corner to Aberdeen. Don's keeping the pressure on the Celtic defence. They're a goal behind. And it could have been two with that half chance falling to John Hartson in the second half. But Aberdeen not giving up. Dempsey takes the corner kick. Header, well, I think it may have come off Byrne's shoulder in the end, but it was half a chance. He just couldn't direct the ball, and indeed I think it was the shoulder. It came off and went behind for a goal kick. Richie Byrne back in the side after being out for a few weeks through injury. Cut out by Byrne, picked up by McGeady. Good ball through to Pearson, but the whistle had gone. Kick quickly taken by Essen to Foster. Byrne. Given away to Lawson. Telfer knocks it inside. Lawson had to look sharp. Pearson whips it forward, but there's nobody there in a hooped shirt. Dempsey. Nicholson. Wide to Byrne. Macaulay does well. Gets the ball into the centre. Mackie lays it off, and Stewart couldn't get there before McManus did. And Stephen McManus not only gets it away, but he puts in Sean Maloney, who's got the better of McNaughton. Maloney with a shot and a goal! Sean Maloney makes it 2-0 to Celtic. 61 minutes into the game. And from one end, with Aberdeen posing a threat, the ball was swept down to the other. Maloney got clear and made absolutely certain with a finish. His 16th goal of the season, and one surely now that will wrap up the points for Celtic here at Pittodrie on the last day of the season. Maloney, who's played such an important part in Celtic's season, finishes it off with some style. And Aberdeen now have a real mountain to climb. They put the pressure on in the second half on the Celtic defence, but that breakaway has given Celtic the second goal, which makes it nearly mission impossible for Aberdeen to get something out of this game, but we'll see. Here's McNaughton. Picked up by McGeady. Thompson. Tries to play in Maloney. Foster's with him. Maloney gets away. Still Sean Maloney. Back to Hartson. Just over the top, and it took a touch. Or did it? No, it didn't. Not according to the referee. Well, again, Celtic looking lethal going forward, inspired by Maloney's second goal, and the striker there setting up Hartson for an opportunity. Norton plays that one towards Mackie. Pearson, now with Thompson. Foster gets it away from Aberdeen. Manus with a header. Hartson, but the whistle's gone. It came off John Hartson's arm. Considine inside for Nicholson. Dempsey through to Crawford. Stewart again. White did it into the middle, right across to Mackie, heads it back inside, and Nicholson's header goes wide of target. Nicholson's managed to get himself into some decent positions this afternoon, but he hasn't found the finish yet. Mackie looks for support and finds it in the form of Foster. Looks it back to Essen. Thompson. Camera back to Thompson again. Inside for Lawson. Exchanges passes with McGeady. That's cut out by McNaughton. And now to play by McManus. Aberdeen are going to make a change. It's Stevie Crawford who'll come off. So Stevie Crawford's season comes to an end. Mackie. Byrne. Now McCauley. He's inside. Back to Dempsey. He loses out to McGeady. Celtic coming forward in numbers, but McGeady challenged by McCauley. Now it's with Maloney though. Hartson calling for it in the box. Sean Maloney goes himself, drives it towards goal. It was blocked by Essen. He didn't know where the ball had gone. It's broken back out of the penalty box. Thompson has it now. Hammer up inside for Lawson. McGeady lays it back to Pearson. Lawson to Varga. Now Thompson. McGeady and Lawson. Telfer's made the run, he can't keep the ball in play. Byrne. Maguire. Good play by Chris Maguire. He did well, but eventually lost out. Pearson to Maloney. Back heeler, doesn't come off for him. McNaughton gets it away. Midway through the second half, Celtic leading by 2-0. Celtic fans singing, "We're here for the party," and I dare say there'll be a few of those both on the way back home and in certain parts of Glasgow tonight. The end of a season which has seen Celtic take the SPL title very comfortably in the end, and finishing, by the looks of things, with a victory at Pittodrie. Aberdeen may yet have something to say about that, but it's been a competent, if not flamboyant, display by Celtic this afternoon against, it must be said, a somewhat under-strength Aberdeen side. Maguire. No offside flag against John Stewart. He looked for it. Stewart must score! And he does! has pulled Aberdeen back into the game. It's 2-1 now. And Aberdeen will now go hunting an equaliser. The ball played through, Stewart looked up, across to the assistant, no offside flag, rounded David Marshall, and finished by putting the ball in the net. A lovely ball through to him. I think he expected to see the offside flag, it wasn't there, and he made the important finish. And Aberdeen now back in the game. That's for Maloney. McNaughton gets there first. To Pearson, to Maloney. Camera. Thompson and Maloney again. Celtic keeping possession. Spoke too soon there. Mackey to Nicholson and back to Essen. Dempsey hooks it over his shoulder. Handed away by McManus. Picked up now by McNaughton. And a flag goes up against Maguire. Not much in it. Marshall will take the free kick. Towards Hartson. Giddy goes for it. Burns there for Aberdeen. Gets it away. Cut out by Lawson. Dispossessed by Macaulay. Came off the heels of Dempsey. Macaulay will try again. This time he searches out Stewart. The Aberdeen goal scorer comes inside. He's working his way back here, but he's found Foster making the run into space. Now Maguire out to Mackey. Maguire looking for it back. Mackey delivers into the middle, right across. There's a chance, and they're on! John Stewart has scored a double. The man who hit a hat-trick against Celtic before has scored his second, having just come on at the interval. Congratulations from his teammates. And the Dons have scored twice in under 3 minutes to pull themselves right back into this game. The ball right across the Celtic penalty box. No one there, it should have been cut out, but Stewart was at the back post to put the ball into the net. Aberdeen 2, Celtic 2. Thompson. McGeady. Burns with him. Thompson onto his left foot, tries the shot, blocked by McNaughton. Foster to Mackey, and now back to Kevin McNaughton. Long forward towards Maguire. Header from McManus. Maguire lost his boot. McGeady. Thompson. Camera. Out of play for the throw to Aberdeen. Aberdeen have their tails up. I spoke too soon when Celtic's second went in. Well, I said it would be a difficult task, but it's a task which the Dons have proved capable of achieving. They've got this game back to level pegging at 2 each, and the momentum currently with them. McGeady turns, and down goes Dempsey, and Aidan McGeady is penalised. Aberdeen about to make another change. It will be David Donald to come on to replace Gary Dempsey. And Donald will go to the right-hand position in the back four and allow Ricky Foster to move back into midfield. Considine with a free kick. Swept out towards Mackey. Headed inside and away by McManus. Foster wins it. Mackey heads it on. Flipped back by Thompson. McManus thumps it downfield. Norton watches it and heads it back to his goalkeeper. Messon rolls it back out to Kevin McNaughton. Put out by McGeady. Byrne is there for Aberdeen. Losing out. Here's Hartson. This is dangerous. Through towards Maloney. Out comes Essen. Headed by Maguire. Picked up by Thompson. The challenge by Maguire was not appreciated by Paul Lawson. Free kick to Celtic. And Celtic about to make a couple of changes now. Mark Wilson will come on in place of Paul Lawson. And I think McGeady may be leaving the field as well, but we'll just wait for confirmation. Lloyd McGeady, yep, makes the walk. Here comes Mark Wilson. John Hartson takes the applause of the Celtic fans. Will we see him in a Celtic jersey next season? He's replaced by Adam Virgo, who goes up front for Celtic. Thompson. Headed on by Virgo, away by McNaughton. Mackey, only as far as Thompson. Lawson knocks it back, but wins the free kick. And Thompson being asked to take it back a couple of yards. Towards ahead of Varga, but up goes Essen. Quickly gets the ball downfield. This is a test of pace for Maguire. But Mark Wilson was equal to it. McNaughton wins it in the air, heads it down, flicked on by Foster. Manis quickly in with a challenge, headed on by Virgo. Considine's there for Aberdeen. Now with Byrne. Forward to Maguire, chested down and swept out to Mackey. Donald on the overlap. Mackey comes inside onto his left foot, tries the shot, blocked by Thompson. It falls for Nicholson, back to Considine. Chips that one forward. Header from Maguire, touched on by Foster to McCauley. McCauley comes inside, loses out in the challenge though. Now Lawson gets it upfield for Virgo. Forced back into his own half. Challenged by Considine. And knocked back by Telfer to David Marshall. Donald from Aberdeen. Foster. to Macaulay, trying to get it inside first time. Second chance though to Maguire. Comes David Donald to assist. Good cross into the box. Stewart rises for it. Macaulay was waiting for it to drop for him, but Wilson gets it away. Norton to Donald. And safety first. Long from McNaughton, too long though. Wilson gets it away. Cut out by Byrne. Considine to Macaulay. Donald throws it back to Essen. Chested down by Stewart. Byrne. Dwyer. Well, the Aberdeen fans thought he was being held, but Alan Murray, the referee, is not interested in the appeals from the stands. Norton getting himself in trouble, or being put in trouble. Here's Virgo, forward to Pearson. Donald's there for Aberdeen. Telfer, cut out by Considine. Wilson. Nicholson stops it. And heads it down for Byrne. Is there for Celtic with Thompson. It's towards Maloney, headed away by Byrne, nodded down by Considine. And Nicholson picks out Donald. Stewart, intended for Mackey. It's asking a lot. Wasn't giving up the challenge and comes away with the ball. Darren Mackey across to the back post and headed away by Mark Wilson. Good determined play by Darren Mackey. He didn't give up on it and managed to get the crossover. Maguire to Macaulay. Byrne. This is Maloney. Dispossessed. The throw goes Aberdeen's way. McNaughton. Finds Donald. 30 players forward for Aberdeen. If he can get the ball into the middle. It's on camera. The Celtic defender wins that tussle. Good play by Alan Thompson. There was ball forward. Didn't match it. 7 minutes left to play. It's tied at 2 each. McNaughton. Nicholson. Considine. Stewart almost got away from Varga, but Varga stood his ground. Chips that one forward for the run for Pearson. It's a good run too. Stephen Pearson with a chance to make it 3-2. Saved by Ryan Essen. Good save by the Aberdeen keeper, but a great run. Superb pace by Pearson. Good control, but he couldn't squeeze the ball past the Aberdeen keeper. Here's Thompson. Virgo. Nobody there. except Essen, who rolls it out now to Richie Byrne. Chip forward, there's space there if Maguire can get in first, but Thompson does. Now McManus. Lawson to Telfer. Thompson. Marshall. Taken on by Maloney. Virgo chases. Gets away from McNaughton, looks to see what support there is, and it is arriving in the box, and McNaughton just gets there first before Pearson could do any damage. Crossed in towards Pearson, but McNaughton, importantly for Aberdeen, got a foot in and put the ball behind for a corner kick. Out swinging corner, and away by Byrne. Telfer trying to play it in first time to Maloney. Into the last 5 minutes. 2 goals each. And both sides showing themselves capable of snatching a winner. Virgo with the flags up. It won't count. Adam Virgo was offside. And although Pearson netted for Celtic, it remains Aberdeen 2, Celtic 2. So just looking across at the Aberdeen bench, Jimmy Calderwood and his management team are urging the players to move forward. They want to get a winner out of this game if they possibly can. They've come back from the dead. I really couldn't say that at this stage you can count out anything. Both sides looking to take the 3 points. It's a free kick to Aberdeen as Maguire's taken down. Challenge from Lawson. An opportunity perhaps for Aberdeen to work something from this position. It will be Nicholson to take the kick. Considine is up at this back post, but it doesn't reach him. It's headed away by McManus. This is McNaughton. What a way to finish his career if he could work something from there, but he pushes it wide to Maguire. And it comes off camera and behind for a corner kick. Less than 3 minutes remaining. Over comes Nicholson to take the corner. Richie Byrne locking with intent on the 6-yard line. As Nicholson's corner comes in, it's right across. Stewart strikes it. Thompson gets it away. Donald on his own plays it forward. Flags up against Richie Byrne. Offside. Marshall gets that one away quickly. Foster had to win that header. Away by Donald. Up comes McManus. Hits it high. Norton jumps with Virgo, and Virgo backing into the Aberdeen defender. Free kick to the Dons. Celtic fans just reminding the Aberdeen supporters that when it comes to honours this season, the Dons haven't succeeded and Celtic have won the league. But for a match which was really pretty meaningless, it certainly provided some good entertainment, particularly in the second half for both sets of fans. They've all been given something to shout about this afternoon. As we move in towards the final minute, there'll be some time to be added on. Byrne has recovered, and Considine will take the free kick. Chested down by Wilson. Chip forward to Virgo. Telfer cut out by Macaulay. Telfer again knocks it inside to Lawson. Now Thompson. Out to Maloney. Camera on the overlap. That's where the ball goes. He looks up to see who's waiting in the middle, but it's cut out by McNaughton. He walks it out of his penalty box and now ups the pace as he drives forward through the middle. Switches it out wide. Macaulay's there, Stewart ahead of him. It goes to McNaughton, who I think was looking to finish with a flourish. So he's going to have to get himself back into position. Maloney has it, slipped inside to Thompson. Across comes Considine, wins it cleanly. Donald nips it inside past Maloney, and now McNaughton. Losing out to Pearson. We're into time added on. Stephen Pearson. Lawson. Virgo. And away by McNaughton. Stewart. A real two-goal hero. 2 goals in 3 minutes for Aberdeen to pull them right back into this match. Maguire will chase, but Marshall will just allow the ball. I was going to say to run behind, but instead he opts to put it forward. Not out of play yet, but it is now. Nicholson. Wide for Donald. Could be the last chance for Aberdeen. As Donald sweeps it in, Marshall comes to collect. Camera to Maloney. Donald tracking back with him. Maloney comes inside. Still Sean Maloney. No challenge has been made yet. And when it is from Nicholson, Maloney shrugs it off. Still Sean Maloney looking to get the shot in. What a finish this would be, but he's dispossessed. The shot comes firing in and it's behind for a goal kick. Great run by Sean Maloney. What a wonderful season he's enjoyed. A goal this afternoon, and so close there to a spectacular effort. And there goes the full-time whistle. The season is brought to an end by Callum Murray. The Celtic players shake hands. Gordon Strachan, the end of his first season in charge at Celtic. A season which has seen them lift the title. But there's the man that the Aberdeen fans will be pleased with. John Stewart, 2 goals in 3 minutes to bring Aberdeen back from a 2-goal deficit and squared it at 2 goals each. For a match which was billed as meaningless, it has been excellent entertainment. Tommy Burns back on the pitch. And the Celtic fans will go home happy at the end of a long but successful season. The full-time score here at Pittodrie, Aberdeen 2, Celtic 2.